Hi, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington, you guys.
So thank you all for being here as well. My name is Rachel Harrison. I'm the adult programming coordinator. Kathryn Kauffman. Miss Kathryn Kauffman, all the way from Lexington, joining us here tonight.
My name is Kathryn Kauffman, and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to my every Monday night show. This is where we discuss what and who we are in this journey called life. And so tonight, this is what we're going to be going over: how to transmute negative energy. Tonight's episode was supposed to be soul star chakra, but watching the news and following the things in the world, I figured that we could all try to learn how to make lemonade out of the lemons that we've been dealt. Let's do some quick shout outs here. Shout out to Cynthia Lynch Carlson, Paige Denise, all of you guys over here on Instagram. Hey to Joy, good to see you, and Betsy Conklin. Wonderful Monday night to you guys. Glad that you're tuning in for our topic. So, how do we take the situation that we've got and transmute the negative energy? We're going to go over that tonight. Special shout out to Melissa Begley and her sidekick, Miss Cleo. Big kisses to you guys. And shout out to Jen Sabo. A happy Monday night, you guys. So, first off, I want to ask you guys if you would do me a favor. It really, really, really helps the show a lot if you will go ahead and hit the share button on your screen and share this out in your newsfeed to your friends and family. Special shout out to Barbara Bacon and Crystal Crazy. Hi, how are you guys? Glad you guys are here with me on this Monday night. But also, I want to let you guys know how much it means when you support local businesses by getting curbside service, any donations that you might make. I know that there's a lot of people who have lost their jobs, been laid off. The financial future is uncertain. And so that's where the topic for tonight came from, this transmutation of negative energy, how to make lemonade out of lemons. Hey to Tony Lahane. Yes, we definitely are safe where we are. And we're going to go over some things that will hopefully help you guys out while you're sheltering in place. Shout out to Tara Cutter. So, what is transmutation? Anybody got any ideas on what transmutation is? Hey to Pastor7469 on Instagram. Let's do some quick waves to you guys while we're thinking about what transmutation is. So Cynthia says, supported a local lavender business in Shelbyville today. Wonderful. Got some lavender goat milk soap, smell delicious and soothing. That is awesome. Cynthia, if you would share the link, if you have a link or some contact information for that person, I would definitely love to investigate that myself. Hey to Mary Bida and Patricia Sullivan Phillips. Hey to you. So transmutation definition, and that's the action of changing or being changed into another form. And to face the times that we're in right now, we definitely need to learn the art of transmutation, and we need to learn the art of courage. And we're going to go into the types of courage as well for today. So Cynthia says transferring something that changes. Yes, it's the act of changing or being changed from one form into another form. So specifically, we're talking about transmuting negative energy into a positive source. Or there's an old adage, making lemonade out of lemons, taking lemons and making lemonade out of it. That's basically what we're talking about here. And so transmuting is a process using intent where you change the negative, in this case, energy, into something positive or positive energy. Now, why do we want to do that? Well, as empathic people, and a lot of us are highly clairsentient and empathic, we are receiving information from our environment in a constant source of the feelings that are going on in the world around us. And unfortunately, there's a huge amount of empathic collection of the environmental negativity that's going on. And so, but it's not just our location, it's the whole world that's in this state of negative emotion right now that empathic people, clairsentient people are receiving. We're receiving this, we're picking it up, and it affects us a whole lot more than people who block their natural empathic ability. Thank you, Cynthia. Hey to Shay Irwin and Chastity Ramirez Henderson. Good to see you guys. So, what kind of information are we picking up right now? These are some of the energies that we're having to deal with right now. And that is, number one is fear. I think the majority of people are really controlled by fear at the current moment, and they're not using their ability of courage. And we're going to go into the different types of courage. But fear, uncertainty, despair. A lot of people have lost their jobs, they've lost their income, they've lost their insurance, and they're, the bills are still coming in. And so that causes a lot of frustration. We're having to be isolated. We're dealing with loss. We're also dealing with grief, the loss of your profession, maybe even the loss of loved ones that are passing from this horrible virus. Anxieties are very, very high, certainly depression. And so, as an empathic person, this is bombarding us, not, like I said, just from our location, but it's the resonant quality of the whole world right now. So, somehow we have to transmute this and turn this around. Hey to Ina and Melissa Nunkus. Okay, so how can we do that? How can we transmute all this? So the emotions that we were just talking about, the fear, uncertainty, despair, depression, these are all of a low type of vibration, resonant quality. Special shout out to my son, Michael Lawrence. Hope you guys are all safe in Paducah. And shout out over here to Larson McDonald. Awesome. How can we transmute all of these negative, lower vibrations into some higher vibrations? And the higher vibrations that we want to transmute that energy into are hope, encouragement, compassion, love, courage, and of course, empathy or sympathy, relating to people who are suffering, but not letting it affect us. So, as empaths, first of all, we have to recognize that there's this overwhelming energy in the world right now that we absolutely cannot let ourselves entrain to. So, you have to employ your blocking techniques, your shielding techniques as empathic people, to not allow your resonant energy to sink down and exist in that lower vibration. And it's a process of lifting your energy up through certain techniques to a higher vibration, those ones of hope, encouragement, love, compassion, and courage. Now, there's more than one type of courage. And what is courage exactly? Courage is the strength to face pain and grief in a strong, solidified way and not allow pain or grief to bring you down to that lower vibratory state of being. So it's doing something that brings that vibration up and blocks the lower vibrations. So another way that you can look at courage is the ability to do something that frightens us. Even though we're scared, our consciousness is aware that this needs done and it's the right thing to do, and then people do that. And so that brings the vibration up to those levels of hope, encouragement, love, compassion, courage, and empathy. So courage is one way to transmute these lower level energies into a higher vibration or resonant field. Let's take a look at the different kinds of courage that we exhibit. One of which is physical courage, and that's when you go and you challenge yourself, even though there's a risk of fear of bodily harm. The greater good is uppermost in the mind, and we challenge ourselves regardless of the physical or bodily harm. So that's physical courage. The second one is social courage, and that's when we exhibit what we know is right and just at the risk of being embarrassed or being rejected or being outcast. That's social courage. The next one is intellectual courage, and that's where you really look at yourself and the way that you're thinking, and you challenge yourself or you question your thinking. You question your intellect, and you look at your thought processes to see, are they in alignment with true courage? The other one is moral courage, and that risks shame or opposition. If you feel like something is not right and everybody else is going along with the trend and you're the only one that's not, you're risking shame or opposition by taking a stance on that. And that's that moral courage. The next one we go over is emotional courage. And that is when you put yourself emotionally out on a limb at the risk of being shamed or experiencing a lot of negative emotions or having people negatively react to what you're saying. You're risking your emotions and your vulnerability with this emotional courage. And the last one that we want to go over is spiritual courage. And this is the one that fortifies your faith or really tests your faith. Do you have what it takes to back up what you say spiritually? Are you practicing what you preach? And a lot of people turn against religion and spiritual things because they observe people who are hypocritical that profess religion but don't back it up through what they do. Let me check for questions over here on Instagram. So there's no questions over here. Let me check over here on Facebook. We're good. So transmuting negative energy, the first and foremost thing you can do is to use your courage to bring those lower level vibrations up to the higher level. Since the basis of transmutation is changing states from one situation or state of being into another, it's really, really important to stay grounded through any times of radical change, because any type of change that happens is an unstable state, because you're not where you used to be and you're not where you want to be. And so the in-between ground here is, it feels unstable, it feels unsafe, we're not really sure of where we're going to end up. We know where we want to end up, but we're not sure that we're going to end up there. So staying grounded through any kind of dramatic or traumatic change is super important. So things you can do to get grounded during these times, and that really helps you deal with the changes that you have to make. What is being grounded? And we went through this in a previous video, and in the edited version of this video, I will put a link to the video on how to ground yourself in the description box below. And of course, for you guys that are tuning in live, all of these shows go onto my YouTube channel. And so if you would search Kathryn Kauffman on YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, give my videos a like and subscribe, and that really, really helps the show out a lot too. Sharing them with other people also helps the show as well. And in these days and times, we can use all the help we can get. And sharing, subscribing, it's not a financial request, so it's easy enough to do. Okay, step number 1 in transmuting is having courage, using your ability of courage to affect these changes. Step number 2, and these are phases. Step number 2, taking responsibility for the outcome that you're in right now. Realizing what is going on right now is not your fault. Please don't try to blame anyone around you. Everyone is scared. Everyone is doing the very best that they can. Can people do better? Yes, but it's only through encouragement and your exhibition of courage that people will follow suit. So blaming others, blaming our government is not going to help. This situation is what it is. So take responsibility for your own situation. The point that we are at in this right now here today, just like for my situation, I take responsibility for taking on this business that I've created and the state of being that it's in now with the economy the way that it is. You know, I made the decision to do that, and then I take responsibility for the situation as it is here today. And that what that does is it brings about an air of acceptance and a little bit leveling off of the emotions, so that we're not escalating with trying to blame this person or this government or that government. Plus, that doesn't help our situation at all. Step number 3 is you need to allow some grieving to take place, because what that does is it keeps you from getting stuck in that negative state or negative vibratory resonance. Releasing some of that negativity through appropriate grieving allows you to move past that. So crying helps, definitely. Any kind of other thing that you do to grieve and release negative energy, some people, take that out in exercise. But do stay grounded even when you are trying to grieve through this process. But do take a few days out to grieve and to release some of this negative energy. Hey, to Smith Henson over here on Instagram, good to see you. And Miss Monica, awesome, and Ada Dawn, thanks for joining me tonight. So how can we make lemonade out of lemons? This takes a really creative flair. And so you have to look at your situation and the rubble that has been created by this awful mess, and start with the creative process and start thinking of, how can I take this fallen down situation? What aspects of this do I have left to start working with to make lemonade? Okay, kind of think of that in your mind. What aspects do I still have to work with? And once you start looking at all of the resources that you have around you in your home or in your society, your closed society here, you're going to realize that you really have more resources than you thought you did. So Melissa says that she allows herself respite days. That's excellent, Melissa. Absolutely. We definitely need to do that. Hey to Rita Fox and Mitzi Tribble. Good to see you guys. So identify your resources, everything that you have to work with. What kinds of things have you done in the past that you could revisit temporarily? Are there other professions that you've done once upon a time, a long time ago, that you could maybe temporarily revisit, and maybe even take that path again, maybe even permanently or temporarily, because we do have to face the fact that we need to support our family and do the best that we can for our family financially. But definitely get creative about your solutions. Maybe you've been stuck in the same job for a long, long time, and maybe the universe has just finally pulled the rug out from under you, and it's an opportunity to do the very thing that you've been putting off because of self-fear. Maybe it's time to revisit that for the future. Maybe it's time to give that opportunity a try. Why not? Maybe we didn't do it before because we were hanging on to that financial stability, but that's gone now. So it may be the perfect opportunity to have that courage that we were talking about in step number 1, and push yourself out of your comfort zone and try that alternate job or career that you were putting off before. So consider that, get creative about your solutions. And this is moving forward into different areas that you've been hesitant about. Maybe you weren't for sure that a different career or life path was the correct thing for you. Working with your shadow side and working with your own negative energy can help push you out of your comfort zone into areas that you've never been in before that are quite scary for you. And if anybody wants a link to a really good free online course on how to work with your shadow side, I will, if you message me, I will send that link to you. It's not my program. It's put out by a guy named Scott Jeffrey, but it's a really good program, and my clients have a lot of good luck using that and working with their shadow side. This could be a whole reboot for you or a do-over at this point. So try to bring your thoughts into that higher resonant level of hope, encouragement, compassion, expectation, anticipation. Those are all higher level resonant feelings. If you can switch your focus from those lower resonant qualities to anticipation, or something higher level like that, where you're actually looking forward to having a chance to do over, reboot, and start again, this could really benefit you in catapulting you up out of that negativity and transmuting this negative energy into positive. Okay, Marshall, I will definitely get you the link to that. Hey to Misty Pendleton and Angela Gould and Shannon Pate Miller. If anybody has any questions about this material, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. Another thing is, and this gets back to courage, is to employ your survival skills and preparation. So there are all kinds of videos on YouTube on how to deal with situations like we're facing right now, when there's no toilet paper, when the food on the shelves are bare. The worst thing that you can do is panic. Get back into those resources, follow some homesteading video channels on YouTube. They've got a ton of great information out there. And here's the thing, guys and gals, we have all of the information still at our fingertips to solve whatever problems that we have going on. All you have to do is search it, and there will be a ton of information that is readily and freely available to you to help you through this situation. So just, go on YouTube, go on to Google, find out the different options for your survival skills and preparation. And maybe this happening to us, it's definitely going to pass. I don't make a projection on when. It's not going to be very soon, though, I think. And so the better that we can improve our preparation skills and our survival skills, the better that we can handle any kind of crisis that may happen in the future. So awesome. I was just looking to see if anybody has any questions. So after the show, Misty and Shannon, I will go back and drop a link for you guys on that shadow work class. So Cynthia says this is probably my favorite of my teaching so far. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ina says, I'm cooking the way I did many years ago when we couldn't afford to eat out. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, Ina, that some of the skills that they had forgotten in the past, they're definitely bringing back. And it has a nostalgic comfort to it that is something that I think that we need right now, is that nostalgic comfort. So Barbara says, I'm making some awesome points. Thank you, Barbara. Even if someone is really struggling, it could be a wonderful opportunity to reinvent oneself. Allow yourself to be happy and to do the one thing you've always wanted. Absolutely. And Misty says, I'm new and have no clue what this is. Well, Misty, I'm a psychic medium here in Kentucky, in Lexington, Kentucky. And this is a Monday night show that I do every Monday night at 7 p.m. And so what I do is I take topics of concern, or I take topics that my clients ask me pretty frequently. Like, one of the questions that my clients ask me frequently is, why are the dead still here? And so what I do is I take that topic and I present it on the Monday Night Live show. And that way, on the Monday Night Live show, people can ask questions and interact with me in the live feed. And then I save the show, Misty, and I put it on my YouTube channel. And that way, should people, fans, clients have a question with regard to that topic in the future, what I can do is give them the link to the video to go and view, because my sessions are only 60 minutes. And frequently people have more questions than what we have time for. So that way, if I have it saved to the YouTube channel, they can always go and browse through there and learn about anything that they've been wondering about. So Misty, we'd be glad if you visit us here every Monday night. And if you want to watch past shows, I'll put a link in the comments to my YouTube channel, and that way you can have that link. So Sheila says, I'm loving all the families walking in our neighborhood, mom and dad and kids together. Yes, and that has been, I think it's been a sort of a finding out about each other, and maybe a little bit of bonding is going on as well. So Marshall says, this mandatory shut-in doesn't really punish me. I'm usually at home, a home person anyway, and don't like being touched anyway, but I've done more research on uplifting skills. Yes, absolutely. And I will definitely go back and look at everybody that needs the shadow link, and I'll definitely put that in there for you guys. So let's talk about next week. Next week, I'm going to present what is the soul star chakra. A lot of us are, we're familiar with the other 7 chakras, but we don't talk about the 8th chakra, the soul star chakra. And I always get tongue-tied on that. So we're going to go over that next Monday. I'm also in this period of isolation and shut in. I'm also trying to finish up the advanced psychic protection class. That's going to be coming up soon. I'm not going to present it until, people's financial situation is better. Because I hate for people to want it and not be able to get it because of their financial situation. So I will probably finish it now while we're all in shutdown mode, and I'll present it later after things normalize. But we'll see. Again, if you guys would mind to share the feed into your news feed on Facebook for your friends and family, that really, really helps the show out. It also helps me out if you'll go to the YouTube channel and subscribe and share those videos on there if you like any of them. And I will get everybody the link for that shadow work, and I will drop a link to the YouTube channel in the comments. Don't forget, I am still working just a little bit, doing Skype, Google Hangouts, Facebook Messenger, and phone readings. For those of you that are interested, and also we'll put the link to my website that has an online scheduler in the comments as well. And what I want you guys to do is really think about what we've talked about this evening. Bring out that courage, bring out those survival skills, elevate those lower negative resonant energies into higher ones, and we'll all make it through this. And, if there are some that don't, then hopefully they are going to be looking down on us and trying to help us get through it from the beyond. Kisses from Kentucky. I will see you next Monday night. You guys have a good week. Later.